I'm Emmanuel and welcome to my workbench and welcome to another state of my collection video. Today we are going to do my $1 coins. I have 3 coin roll hunting folders and I have 2 main folders for my collection. But before we proceed, let's go right into this month's giveaway. I will be giving away this newly issued 50th anniversary of the building of the construction of the CN Tower. It glows in the dark, and all you have to do to be eligible to win this toonie is to leave a comment. And early in July, I will draw the name of a lucky winner. So let's get right to it and start with my main albums. And I believe, let's see here, we're going to start with this album right here. So this album deals with the old silver coins. And so let's go ahead and look at this. So first issue was the King's Silver Jubilee in 1935. This was actually issued as a commemorative coin. The coin was so popular that they decided to start minting it regularly of the following year, and so the $1 coin was born with the voyagers on the canoe. This is the standard design. 1936, I don't know why there's a gap over here. I got a really toned 1937. 1939, there was the royal visit, and there's this commemorative for the royal visit. This shows Canada's Parliament buildings. And that is it for the first page. That ends in 1948. Let's have a look at the obverses. And we have here King George V and then King George VI. Very cool. On to page 2. 1949, the entry of Newfoundland into the Dominion of Canada, into Confederation. It became a province instead of a British colony. And we have this commemorative 1949. I love this design with the ship on the coin. I have a 1951, 1952, and that's where it ends on these pages here. Let's have a look at the obverses. Again, all of these feature King George VI. These over here say, "By the grace of God, King." The previous ones over here say, "By the grace of God, King and Emperor of India." The next page is almost full. I am missing some varieties for this page. 1955, I am missing, that's the year I am missing, and I'm missing a variety for 1957. But we have, again, 1953, shoulder fold, no shoulder fold. A very toned 1954, 1956. And we have the anniversary, the centenary of British Columbia joining Canada in 1958. With we have a totem pole here, and we have 1959 to 1961 at the bottom. These the 1960s shows some toning as well. I think here we'll start seeing Queen Elizabeth II on the obverses. Very cool. And the final page, ending in the centennial over here in 1967, we have 1964, celebrating the 100 years since the Confederation meetings, where the establishment of Canada was discussed as the Dominion of Canada, the Quebec Conference and the Charlottetown Conference. And finally, the other commemorative shows a swan, 100th anniversary of the foundation of Canada's Constitution, the Confederation. And these, of course, we have the new obverses here with the tiara. Very nice version of the coin over here. Excellent. And these are my silver dollars. Naturally, all of these were purchased. None of these were found coin roll hunting. Coin roll hunting is for large silver dollars happens rarely. The bank does sometimes have them, And when I do get them, they will go in this album, because this album will start with the slightly smaller, same design, but the slightly smaller nickel dollar starting in 1968. 1970, we have the centenary of Manitoba, the province, when it was established in 1870. British Columbia, centenary of British Columbia over here. Prince Edward Island, the centenary of Prince Edward Island over here, 1973. The foundation of the city of Winnipeg, 100 years. Lots of commemoratives. There was a redesign in 1977 where the coin was a little bit smaller. But this page is complete, and you will see it starts 68 to 79, and you will see that wherever there is a variety that I have added an annotation to it. These here all feature the Queen Elizabeth in the tiara obverse. Continuing on, the next page goes from 1980 to 1987, the last year that the large nickel dollar was produced. There's a variety over here in 1968, but let's look at these commemoratives over here. We have the establishment of the Constitution of Canada in 1982. 1867 was Confederation, and the Constitution was relegated to Canada. Before 1982, the Constitution was still under the British North America Act, and we had to traditionally go to the UK, to the King in the UK, British Parliament, to pass any laws or make any changes. And of course, 1984, we have the, I believe, 400 years of the arrival of Jacques Cartier down the St. Lawrence River. Here we have a proof-like coin, because this one was taken out of a set. Now, in 1988, they did intend on continuing to produce this coin. However, instead of having expedited service to mail the dies to the Winnipeg Mint, they used regular postage. And guess what happened? They were lost in the mail, and so Canada had to struggle to and developed a new coin. This coin was supposed to have the Voyageurs on it, but they lost the die, and so so they had to go and design a new coin. And here is the obverse, still with the tiara portrait. Now, two coins you guys are much more familiar with. We have the famous loonie, 1987 to 2001. Lots of commemoratives here as well. I have some proof-like coins as well, and I'll explain why this one is over here shortly. But let's go ahead and look at the double date 1992 for the 125th anniversary of the Foundation of Canada. And we have, again, another version of this with the people celebrating Canada Day in front of the Parliament buildings. 1994 had the commemorative with the War Memorial, and 1995 celebrates Canada's efforts in peacekeeping around the world. I am out of space in this book. I've ordered additional pages. They're back ordered. And so the 2026 FIFA World Cup colorized coin is on this page because there was a space on this page. That's why the FIFA World Cup one was there. Let's look at obverses. We transition here from the tiara portrait over to the crowned portrait. And of course, the FIFA World Cup features King Charles III. Moving on to the next page, 2002, the year of the Queen's Jubilee, all the way to 2010. Let's have a look at these guys. No date on the reverse of this coin because the date is on the obverse, the double date. We'll have a look at that later. There's 2003 was the year that we went from the crowned portrait to the uncrowned portrait on the obverse. These are findable, but I have not found one. They're quite rare. Also, there was a W minted marked, so proof-like coins that were minted in Winnipeg. We have our first lucky loonie over here in 2004. And then 2005 celebrating the Marathon of Hope with Terry Fox, who tried to run across Canada to raise funds for to fight cancer, to find a cure for cancer. 2004 being divisible by 4 was the Summer Olympics. 2006 was the Winter Olympics. Here is the Loon in flight for 2006. 2008 Summer Games. We have a different variety of loon over here. And 2009 was the centenary of the Montreal Canadiens hockey team. 2010 we have the Winter Olympics logo over here, the Lucky Loonie, and celebrating the centenary of the Canadian Navy, as well as the centenary of the Saskatchewan Roughriders football team from the Canadian Football League. Very cool. Let's look at the transition here. We have the obverse of the Jubilee year with the crown portrait, 1952 to 2002, and then the uncrowned portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which remained until her passing in 2022. Moving on to the next page. 2011 to 2020. In 2012, we went from the old style to the new style toonie with the additional security features. So let's have a look at these. We have 2011 celebrating the centenary of the Canadian Park Service, Parks Canada. The old style has the date in the front, but the new style has the security feature over here with the date on the obverse. We'll have a look at that. We have a Summer Games Lucky Loonie, 2012. This design was used for the Winter Games of 2014 as well. The centenary of, is it the centenary of the Grey Cup? Yeah, the 100th year of the Grey Cup. This is Canada's, the CFL, Canada's version of the Super Bowl trophy. And the next here we have a very nice example of the 2014 used in the Winter Games. 2016 over here celebrates the 100th anniversary of the women's right to vote in Canada. 2016 we have another commemorative Lucky Loonie for the Summer Games. 2017 is the 150th anniversary of Canada, and we have all kinds of technology, transportation, ships, bridges, hotels, the CN Towers over here. Also, 2017 celebrated the 100th anniversary of the foundation of the hockey team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2019 showed the centenary of, the 50th anniversary of the legalization of same-sex marriage. Or let's say the decriminalization of same-sex relationships, because before 1969, it was same-sex relationships were illegal. Famous line by Pierre Trudeau, Justin Trudeau's dad, said, "The government has no business in people's bedrooms." Let's have a look at these obverses here. These are all going to be the same obverse. And as you can see here, with the transition, the date into 2012, whoops, I'm knocking the camera, moved to below the Queen going forward on all of these coins after 2012. The final page, going from 2020 to 2026, and I'm running out of spots on here. Lots of commemoratives over here. The commemoratives starting on this page, the colorized ones are minted at 2 million. The non-colorized ones are minted at 1 million coins as well. So let's have a look at these. We have the 75th anniversary of the foundation of the UN Charter over here. We have these two over here is the Klondike, 1896 to 2021. The Gold Rush, the Klondike Gold Rush in the Yukon. We have Oscar Peterson over here, 2022, and celebrating the birth of Alexander Graham Bell. We have the Elsie McGill one over here. Woman engineer, helped develop some technologies during World War II. We have the Anne of Green Gables, the L.M. Montgomery Anne of Green Gables Loonie. The celebration of the 150th anniversary of the Canadian Supreme Court. And I don't have the 2026 regular issue Loonie, but I did buy an NIFC 2026 Lucky Loonie for the 2026 Winter Games. And of course, over here at the beginning of the book, the other 2026 that I have is the FIFA World Cup 2026 over here. Loonie. I haven't found them coin roll hunting yet. I haven't done any coin roll hunting, in fact, since my injury, and since I've started this series. All right, moving on to my coin roll hunting books. And there are 3 to look at, so let's go ahead and start with this one. Now, I don't really find the nickel ones when I'm coin roll hunting, but whenever the bank says they have silver dollars for me, though I always hope for actual silver, they're usually the nickel ones over here. And I think I have almost all of them, I think. 1968, other than the varieties. 69, I'm missing the Manitoba, the 1970 Manitoba. I'm missing 1972 over here. And there's a 1974 variety over here, but then I go all the way to 1986. This folder does not have a space for 1987 because the 1987 year I don't think was released for circulation. And I have some varieties over here, 1977, the detached jewel 1976, and the 1977 full water lines detached jewel. Very cool. These you don't see too often. But let's go to the next book over here, where we start with the regular loons. And these guys, I have all of them, including some varieties. I got 2 varieties of the 2005 Terry Fox Marathon of Hope, and the varieties are based on die wear. 2004 Lucky Loon, for whatever reason, was not included in the book, so I had to put it in one of the empty spots over here. And finally, the starting in 2009, the only one I'm missing is the NIFC 2017 over here, but all of these are complete as well. I am just missing the 2026 coins. I haven't found any coin roll hunting yet. And that is the end of this state of my collection for my $1 coins. Join me next week for my $2 coin state of the collection. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click on my logo over here to subscribe. Here is a video that might be of interest to you, as well as a playlist of other loony roll hunts. Until next time, thanks for watching.